to introduce Stephen for his remarks this afternoon.
Thank you, Cora. It is indeed a privilege to be with all my wonderful colleagues here today who do the incredible work that all of you and we all attempt to do. It is my delight to introduce to you a gentleman who is the byproduct of what we all hope and strive to accomplish through the work that we do. So this gentleman entered our facility about 1 year ago, almost to the day. And after a brief introduction and conversation while standing in our entrance, this person says, and I quote from memory, "I'm going to be your greatest success story." And lo and behold, he has in fact become just that. It is this story that I've used to inspire many adult learners who walk through our door, unsure and anxious about who they are, their own ability to improve themselves. I have also had this gentleman tell this story on a series of radio ads with the intent to get the message out of who we are and what we do out to the people, because as you all know, we're pretty much the best kept secret. So what's a good way to do that? Well, better than me explaining that we provide the conditions and situations to people to be successful, and that yes, we can provide hope, which ultimately can transform lives, but it's up to the work that needs to be done by the adult learners. So I have Steve tell his story and journey of learning, along with the role Camrose Adult Learning Council has played in that journey. And when I do that, we have what we would call a real impact statement. So now you have the pleasure of listening to that. And it is with the utmost pleasure that I introduce Camrose Adult Learning Council's biggest success story, Mr. Stephen Arsenault.
Thank you, Ron. You're far too kind. It's hard to stay humble with such great praise. Anyways, it's my honor to be here to talk to you guys today. They told me a long time ago that I'd be chosen, and I'm happy. Sad to be here virtually because I'd love to be there on the grandstand with you guys. But facts are, I'm here to tell my story. And as Ron has said, I've had the opportunity to tell this story many times before on the radio and actually on the newspaper and in class to the other students. They told me to describe a little bit about my journey, about my learning journey. So I guess I would start right at the foundation. I went through some of my memories and found this book for you guys. You guys see the new and improved Steve, but you've yet to see his humble beginnings. So this is where my learning journey started as a child. Went through all the years, importantly, 2, 3, 4. Then as I got a little bit older, things started to get a little bit more crazy. Then by 7 and 8 and 9, well, that's when all the bad things started happening. So, I started off as your average student. I was actually quite gifted, and then, had multiple suspensions, which actually turned out to be an expulsion at the end. So at the grade 9 level, I was expelled from school, lost, reckless, up on my way. By the time I was 14 years old, I was living in group homes and community centers, and I had done some sort of outside learning. I had done a couple of correspondence classes and always had the intention on going back. But I think everybody knows that good intentions don't always come to fruition. So fast forward another 10 years, and I'm in my mid-20s, a single father, doing my best to try to inspire young minds to go to school, but at the same time, not having my own graduation or have gone to school and finished everything myself. So imagine trying to be a single father and inspire young minds with knowing that you have a gap in your own education. So I did my best to try and cope over the years, and it just wasn't doing anything for me. So facts are, I've worked a lot of 9-to-5 jobs, a lot of just coming across anything I could get to go ahead. And I landed in Camrose probably 10 years before I met Ron. And I knew about programs in the area, and just never really was motivated to do what was taken, because I didn't think that I had it. Even though I knew I was smart and I knew I was gifted, I didn't think I had what it took, you know what I mean? Because I didn't go to a conventional school and had experimented with drugs and had bouts of homelessness. So I just felt like higher learning wasn't achievable for me for whatever reason. So I don't know. My current situation was a little bit strange, and my girlfriend and I were looking at the next step of where to go with either one of our lives, for me mostly. And lo and behold, after going to wanting to just give up again and go buy a car stereo and come home and forget about it, she saw this ad in the paper and said, you know, why don't you try this school? Like, take the money from the stereo and go to the school. So I walked into the school and I met Ron, and yeah, I do remember saying that I was going to be the best success story because I felt like I was starting from the bottom. So I felt like any kind of attributes that had my name accredited to them would be a huge success, because I figured, I mean, honestly, like as far as the community is concerned, I'm not exactly a huge success. But as far as my family is concerned, I was never a huge success. My community, I'm from Nova Scotia, like people back there, is a little bit harder for everybody always growing up, you know? And I mean, I walked in there just hopeless kind of, but I knew that I was in good hands because these people were happy and they were genuine. And Ron was a good person. The lady at the reception they were just good people. They were warm, inviting people. I was able to go in there and like instantly make connections with these people. You know what I mean? So it was like right away, let's do the personality test. And like, it seemed like he cared about me because he's like, hey, if we get this paper done today, if we get this done right now, if we do this right now, we'll get you in today. Like, what? I could just see this sense of urgency, which created a sense of urgency in me to be like, oh, wow, like this is important. I have to get this done like immediately. So here I am, just bright eyed, like 35 years old, just like a confused student. Because like I said, I hadn't been to school since grade 9. I had left school when I was 14. I meet this guy 21 years later, and I didn't know what to do. But they held my hand and they walked me through it like it was just easy peasy. You know what I mean? So then later on this day, since we're on this topic, here's this other book that I got, this big, gigantic book that I thought that I would be able to never handle in my entire life. And so they signed me up for this pre-GED class. I'm there with this guy, Neil Sorensen, which is like a god to me, by the way. And we're there all the time with this pre-GED class. It's only a couple hours. It's only a couple days a week. But then I was finding that I wasn't able to do it, or I was struggling or not having a hard time. And he said, it's okay. You can come in Saturday. It's okay. You can come in early. It's okay. You can call me. We can do a video call. We can do this. We can do that. And then just to see how they engage me, it's like, I couldn't tell enough adult learners that were undereducated about this program. Like, I mean, like I do my best to tell every single person that I can. Anybody's like, hey man, how do you build a website? Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? Everybody, I have to send them through those doors, because I mean, anybody who thought little about themselves as I did, that could be where I'm at now. And I'm still going up. I mean, like, as we've discussed, even at the school, you know, when you get to the top of one mountain, you got to go back down to get to the top of the next one. So I think we're kind of back down and back up a lot of times around here. But facts are, I mean, like, you know, as long as you can get yourself up to one side of the mountain, they're going to be there to hold your hand. And I didn't realize that. So here I am this whole time trudging along, September, October, November, and then January of this year, that's when the test was. And I mean, we were half to social distance and we had to do all this and that. Luckily, we didn't have to do it virtually or anything like that. But yeah, it was just a great experience overall. And then like to go to Stettler and to do the GED test, and then boom, I thought, okay, like it's done. I even cried the last day because I'm shaking hands with Ron and shaking hands with Neil. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll never see you guys again. And they're like, oh no, like we're still available to you for resources. We're still there. And I mean, that was like, for me, that was like when I knew I had a permanent connection with these guys, because like they weren't willing to just disregard me and throw me away like I didn't matter, you know. And facts are, like, I mean, learning through CALP has allowed me to do all kinds of things. It's allowed me to get out in the community. It's allowed me to be here with you guys right now. You know, it's allowed me to go out on the radio and be, I think we were like on there 2 or 3 times a day for a couple of weeks. I had people come in my work and ask me about it. I've had people sit at my desk at my job and recognize my voice or things like that. So I mean, like, some of the things that CALP's allowed me to do has just been astronomical, on top of the fact that like all of a sudden, then we were talking about secondary education, and Ron and Neil and everybody were inspiring me and helping me enroll to get into Athabasca University. So to go from a kid who was in grade 9, and you've seen the expulsion records, you've seen the disciplinary actions, you've seen the fact that I'm admitting that I was homeless, I've had problems with drugs, all these things, to go from that to an alumni member, like a permanent membership card in a university. Like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know any other person in my immediate family that's even done that accomplishment. And I mean, to go from that book, from this disciplinary records, to the GED, to a facilitator guide, like that is where it brought me to a point where I was able to go in with Ron and to help inspire and to help other people with math and with English, because my marks were so high in math and English. Like I had some of the highest marks ever recorded or whatever in the GED program, they said. And like I had finished with a 97 in written English and a 90 something in math. And like, honestly, it was just because of the dedication that they gave me. And they don't give themselves enough credit. Like they're like, well, you're the one that put in the work and you're the one that did this and that. But in reality, it's like, sometimes, I mean, maybe especially just a guy like me, like I needed a dude like them to tell me to do this, to do that, and when to do it. And when like I did the work. I'm not sure. Like I've learned to accept the credit for that. But I mean, without them, I wouldn't have had the ability or the wherewithal or the drive. So I knew it was in me and it just needed to be unlocked. But those men were able to do that. And the women that work there were able to do that. So I mean, facts are like, I mean, without the CALP program, or I don't know if I should pronounce the acronym, or the Camrose Adult Learning Program, or literacy, or I can't remember what the L stands for, truthfully. But I mean, honestly, I don't think that I would even have the same quality of life if I've never gone there before. So for that reason alone, I encourage people to go there, because I mean, facts are people are struggling with many things in their life. Like just so happens I was struggling with my job. It just so happens I was struggling with finances. But I mean, there's people that are struggling with comprehension. There's people that are struggling with just basic, simple things like fractions, that could literally simply just walk in the door of that place and feel better about themselves. And I couldn't think of a better reward at the end of the day than just shamelessly feeling better about yourself while improving at the same time. And I mean, like, I guess I didn't realize when I was younger the true benefits of education. Like, it's funny, all these little adages that, you know, we're told as a child that turn out to be true. Like, this is your brain on drugs. And, you know, you could do anything if you put your mind to it. Like all those little things that we forget are genuinely true. Like I never had a chance to be a teacher, but if I had now the chance to be one going forward, I would be pushing that stuff on people like crazy, because you truly genuinely can do anything you put your mind to. Like, I mean, it's crazy, like the unlocked potential that we all could have that we haven't even tapped into yet. So I encourage even you in this room, consider yourselves educators, to learn more, because it's crazy. Like, I mean, I just find it's intoxicating. I think it's great to learn. I had not known that, and I hadn't had someone inspire me to learn until I'd been in this program. So if I could say anything that they'd allowed me to do, or where they've led me in my life, it would be to this very moment right now, just so I could look you all in the eye and just say thank you, and to remind you to keep on keeping on, keep on motivating people, keep on staying in their lives, stay on top of them, call the people you forgot about, stay on top of the people that need help, because it does work. And you can't see my arm hair standing up right now because of the lighting in here, but I'm telling you, these are powerful words, because they're invoking emotions in me that I didn't even remember that I was able to have. So facts are, keep inspiring people, keep doing what you can, because honestly, you've done it for me, and you've done it for generations of people following me, because I'll be able to inspire my kids and other generations of kids and other adults my own age. And I've even been able to inspire people that were my elders. I've had people that were older than my parents now be interested in this program genuinely because of involvement that I've had or whatever. And they're just hearing about it and looking deeper into it themselves. So I've been honored to be a pitcher going into the classroom. My picture's right there. I've been honored to be involved with this program. I have a jacket from the school that I wear when it's cold outside. I absolutely love this program. And if I could be involved with it until the rest of my days, I totally would. And if I'm invited back next year, I promise I'll keep learning. I promise I'll keep growing. And maybe I can present to the next person next year. And I know I'm running out of time. Honestly, I could probably talk all day about this thing. I didn't even really get into enough detail as I would like to. I can't say enough positive things about it. Hopefully I'm talking slow enough for everybody. I know I get a little bit excited and I talk fast. But facts are, it's because it creates passion in me. And I didn't realize that education could do this to people. I mean, when I was younger, I don't know if I was spiteful or just angry, but I always thought it was kind of like sappy or dorky to learn too many things. Like, quite honestly, I was a nerd for a very long time, I guess, the quote unquote. But I mean, like, honestly, like when I got to a certain age, it wasn't cool to be smart, and I got rebellious and everything. And I wish that never happened. Like, I wish I could talk to other people and say, hey man, it's not cool to be cool. Stay in school. And I know that sounds so weird, but it's like, it is, it's all so true. And I mean, facts are, I can't believe that I've gone from being a stereotypical quote unquote write-off to, like, you know, a protege or somebody that could inspire someone. It's just, it's phenomenally mind-blowing. And I mean, I would be honored to be able to pass the proverbial torch on to somebody else. Like, and that's why I feel like it's my goal to actually go out there and inspire other people, because I'm waiting to meet the next Steve. As excited as you all were to meet me and all are to hear my story, I can't wait to hear the next guy's story. And I'm not getting tired of telling mine. I love this. But I mean, honestly, I want to have a whole team of us that could say that we are success stories of this program. And I hope that it's just a snowball effect. I hope that I go viral. I hope that I can find a new way to educate people, whatever it takes to just get people out of the woodwork and bring them to these books. Because I mean, facts are this program is exceptional and it's not intimidating and it wasn't hard. And it's not like when you're in school and you're there for 8 hours a day and you're forced to be there and there's all this pressure and whatever. Just get out there and learn. And I know I'm trying to not look at the time, but I realize that I'm probably run out of time. So I'm just going to take this time to say thank you to Lisa and Ron and Cora and Elder Dave and to Lori and to Colleen and to all other people whose names I can't remember, the sound guys and everyone else. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I love all you guys and I love learning, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I guess I'm looking at the time. I think it's time to cue the next person. So I appreciate being here and thank you so much.